Welcome back to another episode of Jam TV here at the incredible RetailJam 2024 in sunny, very sunny Slough. Anyway, we are here to talk about many things retail, and today in particular we're talking about sustainability and sustainable innovation and what that actually means. So to dive into that, who better to speak to about sustainable innovation than the head of sustainability at a company the size of Nestlé? Well, we indeed have the head of sustainability at Nestlé with us here today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Emma Keller to Jam TV.
Hi there, lovely to be with you.
Likewise. So, well, how about we start with what does sustainable innovation actually mean?
Big question, and I could go in so many different directions with this answer. I think for me, really, sustainability is about making the business better, of course. It's about making sure we have a business that's suitable for today, but also for generations to come. And as a food business, for us, that means we have to look across our entire value chain. Our business simply won't exist if nature collapses, if climate change takes hold and we cannot grow the ingredients that we need to go into our products that all of us know and love. So sustainable innovation is about doing things differently. How do we make those small tweaks and those incremental improvements, whether on our packaging or in our ingredient formulations, but also how do we make those big leaps? How do we get the business to look at things differently? How do we change business models? And importantly, how do we change the hearts and minds of the colleagues and the employees that we need to drive it? So it captures a whole host of things: mindset, technology, product innovation, new ways of getting products to consumers, and new ways of consumers consuming.
Absolutely. Well, in order for them to consume, you have to have created the thing that they are consumed by. And one of the things we spoke about before this interview started was indeed the farming process and agriculture, which is of course a huge part of what Nestlé does. And you've been embarking on a regenerative agricultural process. It's a good tongue twister.
It is,
As well as a tongue twister though, what is it?
Absolutely, and try saying it to farmers. It can be even more challenging. So, as I said, our business depends on a healthy planet and a healthy environment to grow the crops that go into our products. And we hear horrifying stats like we've got 40 harvests left before our soil simply can't sustain the ingredient production we have today. But moreover, we've seen even just this year, the rain that we've faced is making farmers' jobs incredibly difficult. In the UK, we've seen only about half of the crop that would normally go in the ground be planted. So we are all at risk of seeing crop shortages and massive challenges for our farmers. So embarking on regenerative agriculture is all about working in harmony with nature. It's about protecting our soil, which is the very currency of our food production. It's about taking steps to build the resilience of the farm. Things like planting cover crops so that soil doesn't blow away or get washed away in different weather conditions. And it's about incorporating more biodiversity onto our farms so that they can be more resilient. And it's so interesting, when I've been to a farm recently, a regenerative farmer who's been doing some of these amazing practices to be more regenerative, I could see the difference between his farm and his neighbour's farm. And his farm was still green and was still lush and the soil was intact. The farmer next door, the soil had washed away, they were hardly growing anything. You can really see the difference that taking these more regenerative practices can make. So it's a really important step for all of us as food businesses to be more resilient into the future.
But I wonder how, after such a long time of, as a consumer, reaping the benefits of a very short-sighted view of agricultural economy, how is that going to affect the consumer now that we're looking at something that may be more sustainable long-term, but isn't necessarily as economically beneficial at the outset?
The beauty of regenerative agriculture is that we are seeing that it is economically beneficial as well. And this is where it is a win-win for both sides. And the reason for that is when your farm is more resilient and you're protecting things like your soil, you're more biodiverse, so you have less pest infestations, you have less challenges on your farm, we're seeing that these farmers, their yields are improving. So they're actually able to produce more and often with less input. So not only are they making more money by being produce more product, but also they're paying less for chemicals and other inputs by being more regenerative. So it really is a win-win. And of course, all of us consumers have seen the challenge when we go into a supermarket and there's nothing on shelf. We saw that during the pandemic. We saw it last year with lettuce and tomato when we couldn't get hold of them. So as a consumer, it's really good for us that these regenerative practices are happening, because it means we'll be able to see our supermarket shelves stocked more fully.
Amazing. So obviously this doesn't happen in isolation. This is not something that you can just achieve as Nestlé. You must presumably collaborate with many other companies. What are some of the more interesting and, dare I say it, radical collaborations that you've embarked upon?
Yeah,
to make this work?
No one company can do this on their own, and the food system is incredibly inextricably linked. We're all sourcing from similar places and different farmers. So I think for us, we have to collaborate in two main ways. The first is with farmers. This isn't about Nestlé or any other company telling farmers what to do and we've got the answers. Farmers know how to farm way better than we do. So it's about radically collaborating with our farmers, understanding their individual context, what they've been doing, what's worked, what hasn't, what their soil type is, their climate conditions, and working with them to help them change. So that's definitely been radical for a business like ours, who is so large, maybe we haven't always spoken to farmers in that way. So it's a new way of collaborating. The other way that's really exciting is, as well as working with other players in the food sector on food production, there are so many other supply chain companies or actors that are dependent on that land. So we're now collaborating with water companies or county councils or other recreation companies that all want a property from that land. They want dry land so they can do activities on it. They want good water provision for households, as well as what we want, which is healthy, nutritious food to be produced. So we are collaborating with actors that we typically wouldn't get into bed with, and we're now working with. So it's lovely to see unusual bedfellows coming together to drive more sustainability and to build resilience.
Amazing. Well, we are going to have to wrap this up in a second, so I'm just going to ask one last thing. You seem so passionate about this as a way forward. You must very much have your finger on the pulse of what technologies and innovations are coming down the line. What are you most excited about that's on its way that maybe we as consumers and lay people haven't seen yet?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. I think technology in this space is evolving so quickly. We've got more technology in the agri-food space than we've ever had. Some of the things I'm most excited about are things like eDNA solutions, where you can track products through the value chain to understand exactly where they've come from. And we can do that by understanding the DNA of the location that they've been sourced from. I think that's going to be very exciting. We're seeing massive progress in drone and satellite technology to help us understand what's happening on the ground, and importantly, to help us tackle other major issues like deforestation, to make sure that we don't have those kind of things in our value chain anymore. And then there's a lot of things that are going to come that we're going to see in store, where consumers can scan a barcode and suddenly meet the farmer and understand where their materials and their products are coming from. So watch this space, really dynamic, really exciting, and we all need food. We all eat at least 3 times a day, and food is so important. So we all have a role to make our system more sustainable.
Amazing. Well, on that note, I should let you go and get some food of your own from the lovely station over there. But yeah, thank you again, Emma, for joining us today. Absolutely fascinating. We'll definitely have to pick this up at another point in the future. And thank you guys for watching. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode.